I'm not sure yet what I'm gonna put in the Facebook description, but I know it's gonna be clickbaity and a lie. So I apologize for that. A little bit. Cat in a hot dog costume. Is that irony? Because ever since Alanis Morissette, I can't tell what irony is anymore, so I have to ask. Fourth video. Didn't think I'd make this many, honestly. So I don't have anything to say, but my dad wanted a video, and Grandma said that she doesn't care what I say, she just wants to hear my voice. So that's what this is. Don't know what to talk about, though. Could talk about traffic. People here love to talk about traffic. It's #1 small talk topic. Kind of amazing. I guess that's because I haven't been here long enough. I don't have a problem with the traffic. I think it's fine. It is not as bad as I was expecting it to be. That being said, there has not been a time when I have driven and there hasn't been just so many cars. That's a lie. There was one time, but we'll get back to that. Here's the thing about traffic. It just completely distorts all semblance of time and reality. That's all it does. And here's how. You hit standstill traffic, and you can drive a mile, and it will take you 2 hours. But then you look down at the clock, and it's only been 10 minutes. And you're like, I just lost so much of my life in that 10 minutes. Where did it go? Call Mulder and Scully, because something weird is going on here. So that's the only thing about traffic, that it just blows my mind. It continues to blow my mind. I'm curious to see how long it takes for traffic to stop being just so mind-blowing to me. But that's what it is. And I probably should apologize on behalf of everyone in Kansas, because I'm driving around so slow. I drive so slow. I mean, I drive the speed limit most of the time. Sometimes I look down and I'm like, oh, I could go a little faster, I guess. Legally, I could go faster than this. But that's not a big deal. I mean, for me, it ain't about how fast I get there. It ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb, so. But yes, the only time I've ever been on a freeway and there was no traffic, it was 7 a.m. on a Sunday. And I was Ubering home. Why is not important. But there, 405, 2 other cars. I was mind blown. Another interesting thing about that Uber ride, though, was I was being driven by, and I swear it, the inspiration for Debbie Downer from Saturday Night Live. She had to have been, because she started out fine, okay? She started out just telling me about all the cool people she'd driven in her life. I was like, awesome. She didn't say any names. She just dropped a bunch of professions on me, like, oh, I've driven so many actors and producers and directors and professional athletes, and it's, once again, it's 7 a.m. on a Sunday, so I'm like, great. Didn't really care. Wouldn't have cared any other time of the day. Especially didn't care at 7 a.m. on a Sunday. So I was like, and I think she was expecting for some kind of conversation to happen out of this, because she just kept talking, which for me in Ubers is different. It's not how I roll. Usually I do the 5 minutes of pleasantries and then it's silent for the rest of the ride, and I'm having the time of my life. She apparently couldn't handle that because she just kept talking. There'd be a 2-second pause in between topics and then she would just keep going, and they got depressing. The first bomb she dropped on me was about the atomic bomb and how the radioactive the nuclear waste from Japan is now washing up on the shores of California. So from San Diego to San Francisco, the water's radioactive, so you should not go in. No one should touch the water. You shouldn't even go within 5 feet of the water. And I was like, plenty of people swim in that water. What are you talking about? She's like, no, the government's not going to tell you about this. They don't want you to know because they're too focused on the economy and how they're ruining that. So then she went off on the economy a little bit and how it's doomed and the dollar's failing. And I was like, okay. Like, that's what I said constantly. I just like, I was like, oh. And she kept going. And she hit so many topics. Chinese immigrants. They come over here for schooling, the kids, for high school or college or whatever, and they love it. So they don't go home. But they're only children, so that leaves their parents alone in China to die. Oh, and I was like, okay, lady, I'm sorry. But then, human trafficking, pet abuse. She's Native American, I believe Chippewa. And the Native American governments are corrupt, and they kicked her out, so she's not getting money from them anymore. That's why she's Ubering, but it's okay. This was the high point. She has a plan, a money-making scheme with this guy about something about gold. I wasn't 100% paying attention, but it's gonna make millions, and she's gonna be fine. But I was 100% expecting her to tell me that feline AIDS was the #1 killer of domestic cats. And she didn't, which was a little disappointing. And wow, this video got really long. The one I said I wasn't going to talk about anything, and it's almost 7. So, that's my take on traffic and my crazy, I shouldn't use that word, eccentric Uber driver. So, that was a time, and I don't know, I'll be back in Kansas, I guess, in a few weeks. So, this will probably be last video. Maybe I'll make one before I leave. Who knows? But yes. Awesome. Great talking to you. Bye.